Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of season 3 of the Newcastle United career mode, in which we're going to sim this game against Brentford. It's a slightly episode. We've got a lot of games to get through in this episode. We're going to have a lot of games we're going to sim. Now, possibly might not show you all the sims and just show you the calendar after we sim, but we're going to sim this game with the second team. As you can see, Kieran Trippier has gone down from 87 to an 84 in pretty much half the season already, so it's a huge drop from a player. Now, we're looking at replacing the first team with Trent Alexander-Arnold. But if you're going to enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel and turn notifications. Also, head over to Twitch, which you can find in the about section or a link somewhere on the channel. It might be in the description, I don't know. Currently streaming some Fortnite and some Minecraft over here, and occasionally some Minecraft on this channel. Let's get into the game. Let's sim this one at the GTEC Stadium and hopefully beat Brentford here. And the result is going to be a 3-2 victory. Enrique, Almiron and Medina score goals. Yeah, for the second game of the episode, we're going to sim this one up against Spurs. And if you know my history on this channel, you know I don't like playing Spurs. They're just a boring team to face because they play 5 at the back and this formation. Just one of those that you struggle to break down because I don't know where it is. There's something about it is annoying to play against, especially because they've got Brian Hill in their team. I've brought him back from London and actually play him now. Brought Bastoni in, they brought Jordan Pickford. Never brought in Ilkay Gundogan, they brought in Martin Terrier and Nuno Santos to play the left back role. And we're going to send this with the first. We should get a victory up here against the 4th place team. We're currently 10 points behind us. And we're going to pick up a 2-1 win. Colin Mulwani scores twice and Harry Kane goes a goal late on for Spurs. Okay, for the final group stage game up against RB Salzburg, we need to win this one to finish in top place because we are currently top. As you can see, they've got a pretty decent team. They've got Visharin in the team. They've got Kwame up front. We've got Gurner still in the team. And I believe some other talents in the team as well. We're going to send this one here with the second team. We should get a victory up against Salzburg. We get a 1-0 win with Giles, a new left back, scoring a goal. Obviously, formerly of Blackburn Rovers on loan. And the Wolves player who was on loan at Blackburn, I believe, this season, scores a goal for us here. And yeah, let's get into the rest of the games of the episode. We've got a lot more to sim through. And let's get the sim through them and see if we can get the results we need. Okay, the first team up in action up against a decent Crystal Palace team. They've got Tenkau in their team and some other decent players. Ruby Silver in goal, I believe. They've got Parisi, the young Italian talent. They've got 2 start former talent in FIFA as well. And we're going to send this one. Obviously, they've got Ekitike up front as well in the team. But the first team should easily get a victory up against the 16th place team in the league. And we'll pick up a 1-0 win with Cody Gakpo getting an 84th minute winner for us in the game. We dominated. Get up against 13th place Leeds here. And obviously in real life got relegated from the Premier League this season, but they've got a decent team here in the rebuild. Not the rebuild, in the might do a rebuild with Leeds coming soon, who knows. But we're up against Leeds here in the Prem. We're going to send us one with the second team, and again we should get a victory up against them, judging by our team. But they've got a couple of decent players. We get a 2-0 win with Almiron and Anthony Gordon scoring goals. Okay, well I was going to play this game up against Chelsea, but as you can see by the team, they've got some couple of decent players in there, but they are currently 9th in the league. Judging by the fact they've got Kasper Dolberg, of course, isn't a bad player. Got Lewis Hall at left back, Malang Sarr, Trevor Chalobah in the defence. And that team just isn't as good as it should be for Chelsea. We're going to sim this game here with the first one. We've seen Trent has reached a 90 rating now, first player in our team to reach that rating. Obviously joined us this season, so it's no surprise he's reached that rating. And we're going to sim this here. We get a 1-1 draw with Joe Madoku got the goal for us, and Jimenez comes to the bench for them. Oh, no, we actually started. Interesting. Jimenez scores for them. Get up against Middlesbrough now in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. We're going to sim this one here with the second team again. Should be an easy victory. We get a 2-1 win with Anthony Gordon and Joe Madoku scoring goals. Okay, now as you can see, up against 12th place Southampton, we pick up a 1-1 draw with Metro getting a late goal for them to get the equaliser. Andrew Gomez scored for us just before half time, but we get a 1-1 draw and we remain undefeated and make our next game. I think it's Man United to get into that one, and I think we're going to play that one as well. Okay, up against a pretty good Man United team, as we know we've faced them in the past, and it's currently been a hard team for us to beat. We're going to play the highlights of this one because they're currently 12 points behind us in the league, and Man City are the team that are in second, are currently 9 points behind us. So let's get into this one at St James's Park, hopefully beat Man United here. Okay, so the first highlight, 40 minutes in here, through the centre here with Colin Mulwani. We've got Gakpo making a run. And Colin Mulwani, we're going to go alone with Colin Mulwani, and Colin Mulwani beats David De Gea to put us 1-0 up here. The Frenchman strikes again and makes it 1-0. A player that had a rough start last season, but has replaced Alexander Isak, forced him out of the club, and has become our #1 striker and a player that we don't need to replace anytime soon. We get a free kick here in the 47th minute here in a pretty decent position. We've got Trent, Mason Mount, and Cody Gakpo. It looks like Alan St. Maximan is stood over this one for whatever reason. We're going to give it to Mason Mount. So we've scored quite a few with Mason Mount in the Chelsea career mode, if I remember correctly. But Mason Mount here, they put a lot of bend on this one and hope we can find the back of the net. It's been blocked by Fabian Schär. Okay, penalty. Oh, penalty. Rashid Pope. Which way is Rashid going to go? Pope v Rashid here. He's trying to Penenka it at 1-0 down. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're going to score anyway. What was that, man? I literally cleared it, and the game just went, you didn't clear it. I saved the penalty, and the game just goes on to get the score anyway. Ataro got defending from Delict. That should be end of the highlight, ref. I'm not sure, not ref, but game. Better give me one more chance. There we go. We deserve to win this game. After that goal we conceded, we deserve to win. Chance, Alice Maximan. Alice Maximan over to Jeremy Doku for a second. For a second, I thought he messed it up because he didn't shoot first time. And I thought De Gea was going to grab the ball off us. But he took the shot first time. Not first time, second time actually. Rabona's into the bottom corner if I saw that correctly. I think he pulled out a Rabona there, Jeremy Doku. And Gross is a late winner here. Possibly though, but Man United have a chance there late on in the 86th minute. Matoro and Martinez for the centre. Sebastian brought on Victor Osimhen. But De Ligt, strong defending there from Matthias De Ligt. It's a 2-1 win at St. Joseph Park. Let's get into the rest of the games. We're going to sim those via the calendar. We're going to show you that in one sweep because we've got a bunch of games that we don't really need to show you. Okay, before we get into our game up against Atalanta, which we are probably going to sim as well because Atalanta are the best team we currently facing in the round of 16. As you can see that then once we've got in January. After the game against Man United, we picked up a bunch of wins, as you can see there, a draw against Southampton. But then in the month of February, as you can see, we picked up a 2-0 win against Brentford, picked up a win against Everton as well. Here we are, the Champions League round of 16 here up against Atalanta, which is the easiest team we've faced in this competition so far. Whereas last season we've got Inter Milan in this stage, where I can see they've got a decent team. They've got Patrick Schick, they've got any other players, Gonzalo Plata, I believe. That might be Bruno Fernandes maybe. They've got Romagnoli in defence as well. We're going to send this one with the first team, because we should get a victory up against Atalanta. And then we're going to get into the game against Liverpool after this as well. Let's see what the result is going to be. It's going to be a 2-1 win with Bruno Gamara scoring. Kramaric was a late goal for them. But also Cody Gakpo scores an early goal for us to get us a 2-1 result in the end. As you can see, the current Premier League standings stand like that. And as you can see, we're currently clear of Man City in second place. And we're going to get into this one up against Liverpool. We're going to play the highlights of this one. Up against a decent Liverpool team. As you can see, Diaz, Salah, Roberto Firmino, Benacer, Netim Locatelli, De Paul, Barr in the team. Robertson, Araujo, Sam Botman to play with Tottenham this season, and Alisson in goal. Let's get into this one at Anfield and hopefully get a win here to remain undefeated in the Premier League.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay, so the first highlight goes to us on the counter attack in the 10th minute for the centre here. I believe I've Mason Mount on the ball with Colomwani making a run. I'm going to take a touch over Mason Mount and try play Colomwani. Oh, it's a great through ball. Pass Araujo. Colomwani hits the post. He's not hit the woodwork in a long time. That's like the Colomwani of last season towards the start. He missed chances like that. I thought that's a guaranteed goal with him. But Thuram here on the ball, I believe. Here it is. Jeremy Doku making a run there, but apparently Andrew Robertson can keep up to him. But Kefren Thuram can hit them from range. Kefren Thuram denied by the Brazilian. We all know he can hit them. But Liverpool on the counter attack here in the 69th minute. Currently 0-0 still. They've got Firmino making a run for the centre. De Ligt should have discovered. Actually had Luis Diaz making a run down the wing as well. That's why midfield isn't tracking back. Speaking of a midfield, Joe Linton's actually requested a move away from the club because he hasn't played many games this season, but Luis Diaz now. And to remain focused there, good defended by Joe Gomez, I believe that was in the defence. We got very fortunate there, but last minute here, with an attack down the right hand side, Jeremy Doku is someone to get into the centre. Kind of when he made the run, I should have played the pass, but Jeremy Doku, can he finally finish? Jeremy Doku. Again, 0-0 draw. We hit the post twice and 2 shots that should have gone in. But we'll take it. We remain undefeated anyway. Again, here we are, the Carabao Cup final again. Our third season in a row. This time we've taken on the easiest team we've ever taken on in the final, which is Watford. And I'm tempted to actually sim this because we've won it 2 seasons in a row. At the same time, I feel like I should play it, or at least play the highlights, so we can have the title celebrations. Let's get into this. We're going to play the highlights. We'll get the title celebrations at Wembley Stadium. And we should get an easy victory up against Watford. Let's get into the Carabao Cup final and hope to win this competition for the 3rd season in a row. Okay, so the first highlight actually goes to Watford here, 4 minutes on the counter attack. We should put ourselves in the home kit so we could celebrate in our home kit, but it seems like it doesn't really matter. As I mentioned, we've won this competition 3 seasons in a row, so it's kind of lost its meaning to us. It didn't really mean much in the first season, to be fair, but after 2 seasons in a row and possibly 3 here, if we can get a goal in this game. But Watford on the attack here again. I'm starting this game off well here. You know, they have to start this game quick. You know, after they have to try and get something early on, but Eden Militao defending there. And we actually get our first attack here in the 38th. The third run here with Jeremy Doku. Also, he missed that last minute chance against Liverpool. Would he miss this one up against Watford? No, we won't. He's going to sweat it to Kalamawani. And there we go. I wasn't going to risk it. When Okoye, not Okoye, who's not in goal for them, I don't think he is. Whoever's in goal for Watford, when he started moving out, Okoye was their goalkeeper at the start of the Premier, if I remember correctly. That's the current goalkeeper in real life. But when the keeper came out there, I didn't trust Doku with a finish until that miss against Liverpool. We get a free kick here, and I'm not sure what to do from this. You know, we're gonna lift it in. Let's put Mason Mount on it. No, we're gonna put Trent on it. We're gonna put it into the box and hope someone can get the head onto it. It's a decent cross, delete. There we go. 2-0. Trent has on it on with an absolutely incredible cross there, and delete on the end of it makes it 2-0. And Delict's actually going to be involved in his first title celebrations here for us as a Newcastle player. Same with Trent as on obviously as well. Obviously, this is their first cup final they played in as a Newcastle player. But Watford on the attack here in the 57th minute here. Trying to get themselves back into this game. Tom Dedi Bashuru here, the former Man City man, Kieran Tierney. Good bit of strength there from Kieran Tierney, and he forces him to take it out of play. And in the 63rd, we have an opportunity to make it 3-0 here. I wish this game would just end, you know what I mean? It would just not give us any more highlights and just end it here. Because obviously we've won this game. It's pretty much set in stone, we've won this game. Catherine Thuram. Okay, I was going to try and get a long shot opportunity with him there, but... Okay, Catherine Thuram. Catherine Thuram. He's just, honestly... No, we need to get a replay of that. You can't rob me of watching that go into the back of the net one more time. Let's watch this again. Catherine Thuram lays it off to Doku here. And then Catherine Thuram just travellas it perfectly up and over the goalkeeper. Nothing he can do about that. He can't reach it into the back of the net. That's an incredible shot from Catherine Thuram. And it's 3-0 here in the cup final. Watford probably going to use that way you expected it to go. They've been absolutely smoked by us there. And Jeremy Doku has a chance to make it 4. Kalamawani, why didn't he even go for that? He didn't even go for it. I wanted to go to the back post, to be fair, to whoever was making the run. I wanted it back post, but I went to the centre to Kalamawani, so I thought, you know what, he's going to actually get to that. But for whatever reason, he didn't. And Jeremy Doku. He didn't turn with as much agility as I expected him to do. I'm not really trying to score goals anyway, to be fair. We've won the game. Going to get the title celebrations there. We're going to cut to them because it might take a while to get to them. Who knows? Again, here we are, the third season in a row at Wembley, lifting the Carabao Cup. Instead of Kieran Trippier this time, it is Nick Pope, our goalkeeper. It's been absolutely incredible for us throughout this whole career mode. Nobody getting let us down, but for the long run, he's been a great goalkeeper for us. 87 rated now at 32 years of age. He steps up as the captain to lift the Carabao Cup, and we're going to cut it here after a lift or two and get into the rest of the games in this episode, which we're probably going to sim a bunch of them. We've got a second leg against Atalanta, which we're going to sim, and we're probably going to get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League and end it there. But let's get into the second leg against Atalanta. Okay, before we get into our first leg up against Dortmund in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, we picked up a bunch of wins there in the month of March, getting past Atalanta quite easily, and the rest of the teams also quite easily. In the month of April, we also simmed the game against Arsenal. We're down to 6th, and Man City, whom we are so far clear of in the Premier League, and we've faced so many times. I just want to focus on the Champions League and try and win that this season. As you can see, we've got a bunch more games again in the Premier. We're going to sim after this. If we easily beat Dortmund here, we're going to sim the second leg away at the Signal Iduna Park, and we're also going to face Man City there in the FA Cup quarterfinals or semi-finals. One of the two. I believe it might be the semi-finals. And yeah, let's get into this one against Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund are a team we last did our career mode with in our last series in the quarterfinals there. Up against Dortmund, they've got lots of Nesri up front. They've got Marino, they've got Pogba, Emre Can, Pasalac, Ansgar Canal, Ben White, Hermoso, Laporte, Ryerson, and Gregor Kobel. A team that I think we could actually easily beat if I sim this game. But because we've simmed so many games in this episode, we are going to play this one just for you guys to get some content. Let's get into this one at St. James's Park and hopefully beat Dortmund here to advance into the second. Advance into the second leg with a lead, and a comfortable lead at that. It's been on loan for a couple of years. Mason Mount. Shimidoku, we know he can hit them from range. Shimidoku. we're just unstoppable. We actually are just unstoppable. It's at that stage in your career where your team is just too good. Like, your players are like literally developed to the players you want to play with. You know, they're built to your strengths as a player, and they just do whatever you ask them to do. And Shirome Doku hits it from range, overgoes Kobo, nothing they can do about that. He possibly could save that actually, but he doesn't, fortunately for us. And Shirome Doku makes it 1-0 here with an incredible strike. Four minutes in as well, you know. Bruno Guimaraes into Mason Mount here. Mason Mount can also hit them from range. We're just handing out tickets to Long Shot City everywhere. No matter who it is, no matter where we are in the world, and no matter who it is from range. Chances are it's going to go in whether it's Gakpo, Colonel Mawani, Mason Mount, Bruno Guimaraes, Shirome Doku, Kefren Turam, and even our defenders can hit them from range, as we've seen. And we're 2-0 up here inside 10 minutes. Pass off short defensively here. Marino's found and Nejri. Nejri somehow got a past Militao. That's got Knaf now, Pope the save. And then he could have caught that. He really could have caught that. And Nejri, Delete. Could have been defending different Delete. We're looking at Kefren Turam. Out wide here. Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney now. Kieran Tierney, Trivella, why not? Kieran Tierney forces a save from Kobo there. Militao, good defending again, but he can't get the ball clear. Knaf now. Talented German. Defender from Militao, but again he can't get it clear. And Knaf shoots Pope, good save. Knaf is our most dangerous player, so we need to keep him quiet. Pasovich is going off now, and Malero is coming on. A young Spanish talent, I believe. Mawani now. Drive on the ball. Out defence. Mawani. Still got the ball. Not sure how he still has the ball, but he did. Mason Mount. Shirome Doku. Kobo tried, but he couldn't save it. Similar to the goal he conceded in real life, actually, in the final Bundesliga game, I believe it was, when he saved it, but it went in off the post. He couldn't get enough behind it. But Shirome Doku makes it free here, and we're going to send the rest of this game after this highlight because there's nothing Dortmund can do against us. We're just too good of a team. I honestly don't think there's a team out there that's going to offer us a proper challenge other than PSG, who obviously knocked us out of the Champions League last season. But we're going to submit here, 3-0 up. We end the game 3-0, and just get into the rest of the games in this episode. Some bunch more, and yeah, it looks like we're on track to win the quadruple this season. Okay, up against Man City here, we're going to play this one as semi-finals of the FA Cup. I actually might play the highlights with our second team, so I feel like we could get the job done with our second team with a couple of first-team players in there. Chidinton steps into the team, Joe Willock back in the team, Waller, homegrown talent in the team as well as Pope in goal for this one. Let's get into this against Man City, who obviously, we similar game against them early in the episode and we won that game, but Man City are a team that obviously a pretty good team. They've got Bertrand in the team, Vitinho played them last episode, and they were a decent challenge, but let's get into this one. They've got Ortega in goal. And hopefully we can end this game early because we've got Barcelona in the Champions League semi-finals after this. And yeah, that's going to be a pretty good game, I feel. So the first highlight goes to us. It goes to Man City actually 9 minutes in on the counter-attack here, which obviously isn't great for us. Obviously we are using our old formation we used to play. Obviously now in the first time we played with a 4-3-3 or a similar formation type with Joe Gomez and Trippier got defending there. Obviously, two players that used to be in the first team would drop to the second team, just due to just more quality being in the team now. And now, Joe Willock, another player who had a similar fate. Oh, Almiron couldn't find that pass. Wanted to play it into War and play it back to Almiron. I haven't seen anything from War, to be fair, so it's his first game to show what he can do. We ended up for 2 years to Brighton. But I didn't show you the games we've seen him before this game, did I? I completely forgot to do that. But Almiron, now we can hit them from range. Let me go, Almiron! Honestly. I don't think I've had a better team that can shoot from range. The Dortmund team was pretty good, with Junior Brandt, Marco Reus, Anton Stark, Emre Can as well in there. But this Newcastle team can just hit them from anywhere, and chances are it's going to be on target, and high chance it's going to be a goal. Speaking of chances of being goal, Phil Foden and Haaland, but Joe Gomez, solid defending there. 59th minute here, City trying to get themselves back into this one. with an attack player on here. Bergwijn. Mickey van der Ven, great challenge there. Not seen much of him due to him not being the highest rate player. He's 84 rated now, to be fair though. So we can slot into the first team if we need him to at times, but obviously we'd rather play Militao and Matthijs in the defence than him. But he's a pretty good defender, as we saw just there. Andrew Gomez, as a player who also know is a pretty good defender for the 2 seasons he was on our team. But 63rd minute here. Can we make it 2-0 to secure an FA Cup title again? Oh, Alphonso Davies is right there. That's so annoying. Thought at least I could find that pass, but later on here, 84th, possibly the last chance of the game. Elise, Dan Owen, can we get Wall in behind it? No, we can't. At least it takes a horrible touch there. Amaron. Back to Elise. Now Wall. Okay, Wall's passing is woeful. But it's a 1-0 win. Not the most extravagant FA Cup semi-final you'll ever see. But let's get into the game against Barcelona. And as you heard there, we're also in the FA Cup final. Okay, as you can see, up against Barcelona in the FA Cup semi-finals, we're at home for the first leg as well, which obviously served as well in the game against Dortmund. I can see the other results there. We beat Brighton 3-1. We've got a 2-2 draw against Dortmund in the second leg with Cody Gakpo actually got suspended for this game, so Alan Maximan makes his return to the first team for this one. Got a 2-0 win against Bournemouth, a 2-0 win against West Ham, also the 1-0 win in the FA Cup semi-finals. And what we're going to show you is we're up against Shrewsbury Town in the FA Cup final. As you can see, the final few games of the Premier League, they're not like big of games. If we can beat Barcelona in these 2 legs here and beat them comfortably in this first leg, this will be the season finale. If the game ends up being a challenge for the second leg, I might leave it for one more episode, but I don't know just yet. Actually, Barcelona got Alcaron in their team, they've got Jonathan David, they've got Ousmane Dembele, Frenkie de Jong, Kevin De Bruyne, they've got Frank Kessié, they've got Vale there, they've got Matthijs Ginter, Diego Carlos, Jules Koundé, and Ter Stegen. Not the greatest Barcelona team, a couple of players there that I wouldn't expect to play for Barcelona. I don't know who that Vale guy is in left back, or Vale, or whatever his name is in left back. I'm going to have to find out who he is after this game. But that midfield is pretty good, the attack is pretty decent. Let's get into this one at St James's Park and hopefully get revenge. Well, not really revenge, but hopefully get over the heartbreaker last season where in the Champions League semi-finals we faced PSG and got ripped apart by Kylian Mbappe. That's the only reason why they won that game, because we deserved to win it if it wasn't for Mbappe. But let's get into this one and hopefully put Barcelona to the sword and book ourselves 1 foot in the Champions League final. That's it, Maximan now. Morris. Catherine Thuram hits it from range. Catherine Thuram, that's a second, just catches it. That's it, Maximan. Kadamawani. It's going to be one of those games. Catherine Thuram wins the header. Catherine Thuram. Kadamawani. Hits it, saved by Ter Stegen. It is going to be one of those games. Okay. Over the tower, there we go. Why is Diego Carlos at strike and is actually doing well? Bringing Amara's over the top. Looking for Alan Maximan. As a player, he's probably not going to put in a challenge because they're scared to give away a penalty. But Trent there, head that back, there we go.
And coolly done despite the mounting pressure.
About to Turney. Just know how hard he threw that ball and travelled at that much speed. That's it, Maximan.
Well, they keep the ball moving.
That's a mount. Oh, Kadamawani. Okay, he's got fortunate there and he finds the finish. Okay, isn't as flairful and as skillful as I hoped it was going to be. I wanted to do a Dennis Bergkamp near to Barcelona with Kadamawani that flick it over or around the defender and then take a shot. But it ricochets off the defender, falls back to Kadamawani. He hits it on the volley into the back of the net. We'll take our goals however we can get them. And we're 1-0 up here. Love to see it. So, man, oh, why did he run it towards Koundé? Is it running towards Koundé? Oh, okay, they've switched the formation again. They're now playing players in the correct positions. Karen Turney. Got unfortunate there. Karen Turney. Hope, what are you doing there? Where's he going? I promise you I've not told him to come out here.
Well, here it is again, and the
it isn't on sweeper keeper either. But what is going on?
Oh, great attacking play.
Turning good defending.
But no damage done, that's the main thing.
That's it, Maximan now. That's it, Maximan. That's it, Maximan looking for Kadamawani.
Oh, good save.
He actually won the header as well.
And here's
What's the point in putting in challenges? Like, you might as well just not put in a challenge because your player just challenges thin air. They don't even go for the ball.
Can they hit on the break?
Like, none of those challenges went towards the ball there. Anasit Maximan.
Can they take the lead here?
Anasit Maximan.
Oh, keeper dealt with it.
Morales, good work.
Applying
Okay,
vigorous
let's pass it
pressure.
to where I'm aiming it, man. It ain't rocket science.
And still looking for space.
Tony, putting a challenge. Why have you not put in a challenge? If I see that's your fault, Pope could save.
Perfect save.
But what in world? Why in the world did Kieran Tony not put in a challenge there?
Just look how he reacted.
Ball's just right in front of him.
A very
He could have easily
effective
got that.
clearance.
Couldn't one heads it clear and as far as Rafinha.
De Bruyne.
Frank de Jong now.
Cross
A block there from Militao. In the pass out. Tony, there we go.
Alexander-Arnold.
And Trent. Kevin Turan.
Ventura.
Nathan David. Oh,
De Jong.
okay.
And that's
Pope good save.
fantastic goalkeeping.
Going Turney. Oh, where's your pace there,
Custody of the
Turney?
ball here.
Why have all places there if you decided not to use your pace?
A glorious chance.
Pope, good save.
Oh,
That's an incredible save, actually.
everything you've got to say.
That's aimed for Doku. If we concede here, the games it should give them a goal. So I think that pass at Doku. There we go.
Challenge that was required.
I don't know if the game's going against me right now,
Keeper
in the way it
deserves
is.
a lot of credit. That was a fine
Kadamawani.
save.
Okay, maybe it isn't.
They might
Maybe
be
it isn't.
onto something.
Kadamawani, if you score this, there we go. We're back in the lead. A lead we've so deserved. Obviously, Barcelona have had a few chances late on in this game, but in the end, Kadamawani isn't going to miss him there. Well, he shouldn't miss him there. He missed earlier in the episode. He hit the post, but this time round, it doesn't. I was tempted to play the pass to Mason Mount, but it wasn't really angled to do it in. And Kadamawani finds the finish to make it 2-1 here, and let's hope we can continue this lead and build on it, and also defend it as well.
In this game.
Over here to Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku's just been allowed room to run in behind the tight skin to the good defending. Trent now.
Turan.
Kevin Turan.
Alexander-Arnold.
Back into Trent. The Trevella spot is open. Trevella! No, I call that spot the Trevella spot. Edge of the box there. If you Trevella it there, for a player who's got good long shots, they're going to score. I've not used it in a while. It's broken in this game to shoot for a Trevella. I've not used it in a long time. But at the most desperate times and the most... No, not really desperate. At the bigger occasions, we need to use it. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, an incredible Trevella shot there, takes advantage of the brokenness of this game and Trevella shots in this game to make it 3-1 here. And as it stands, we're going to go into the second leg with a good lead, which basically boxes a spot in the second leg, in the final of the Champions League, and a good defending there from Trent as well. It's a very long advantage, ref. I don't like how long the advantage is offered to AI, but you don't. But as a player, you don't get any advantages go your way.
The danger not
So I'm putting a challenge on him. She's got nowhere to go, but it's somehow find a pass. And how's that gone in?
They're getting closer. They're not finished yet.
A, Rafinha should not find that pass, and B, Jonathan Davis shouldn't be scoring that shot. Nick Potes made some absolutely insane saves this game, but that one, which is straight at him, at a good angle for a goalkeeper to save it,
Here's the replay.
it somehow goes past him.
His man with such ease, and it's just a change of pace, and the movement is good, making for a comfortable finish.
Oh, fancy
Trent.
footwork. Fruitful looking attack.
Jeremy Doku, good work, Jeremy Doku.
Spotting his opponent in
Saved
the
Anasit
nick of
Maximan.
time.
Okay, how? Why has he not moved the ball? Attack here though, straight from the clearance, Kevin Turan. Want to get a long shot away. Speaking of long shots, Bruno Gamara is a long shot king.
Well, what a good start
Denied by
to
Ter
keep
Stegen.
them in.
We're free to lead going into the second leg unless we can get in a late challenge here. And the target good work, get to the ball. Good blow the whistle, ref, you're corrupt. Kadamawani, it's blocked. Okay, you can blow the whistle now, ref. A 3-2 win,
And the home side will carry
and
the lead.
judging by the fact this game is a challenge, I'm going to see how long the episode is by now. I don't want to make this super long, but I think we're going to just end the season here and end the series here possibly. We're going to get into the second leg against Barcelona, and if we win that, we're going to go to the Champions League final. We've got a bunch of games we're going to sim in the Prem. Let's get into those and sim past them. Again, here we're the second leg up against Barcelona. We're going to play the highlights of this one because I feel like we should easily beat Barcelona, man. They don't have the greatest team. We should have won that first game by a bunch more goals. We dominated it completely. You got Rafa Guerreiro this time playing left back for them, and Rafinha starts in this one. We picked up a 2-0 win against Crystal Palace in between the two second legs, and we're on track to win the Premier League title. We're clear of Man City in second place. There's no point even showing you the table at this point because we're guaranteed to win that title, and we're going to get into the final home game of the season against Chelsea in this episode and see the title celebrations there. We obviously have the FA Cup final against Shrewsbury Town as well, and let's get into this one against Barcelona and hopefully get the win that sees us go to the Champions League final in this episode. Okay, so the first leg goes to Barcelona hit in the 3rd minute, and if you wonder why I only showed the goals in the last game as well, it's because I don't want this episode to be like 50 minutes, nearly an hour long. Did it? Good defending there. We get our free kick in the end, but we don't actually get to take it. That's great refereeing ref. I'm like, I can't tell that sarcasm there, but yeah, back to the point I was saying. But what in the Okay, it's going against me here. I can feel it already. Didn't like that whatsoever. But I'm going to try and get the point across that I was trying to talk about. In fact, it's only showed the goals in this last few games and whatever, in the games of this episode, because obviously don't want this episode to be super long. I want it to be a episode that isn't too long to watch for the season finale. It wasn't meant to be the season finale, but judging by the fact we've got super easy teams in the Champions League up until this point, we obviously made it. And the fact we've been, oh, that's great. Where's the advantage there? Where's the advantage there? For that one, that's a great panel there from Cody Gakpo. We've got a hold up there by Drew Skunde. It should have been an advantage and a free kick. But the referee decided not to give it this time round. Barcelona, De Bruyne, Pope, that's yours. What just happened? This game has been so weird. Okay, Barcelona late on here, 85th minute. Trying to get a goal to level the aggregate scoreline, take it to extra time and penalties. Can they do so? If they do here, it's going to go to penalties probably. Oh no. I had to speak. Jonathan David. Joe Gomez though. Incredible challenge from Joe Gomez. And on here we get a chance to get ourselves one more goal. Just to ensure that the win. Play it through. To Alan. St. Maximan. Going to lay it off to Cody Gakpo. There we go. No Cody Gakpo. Cody Mwani, sorry. Not sure why I mentioned Cody Gakpo. But Cody Mwani has just put us into the Champions League final there with that goal. And see what it means to the players who were part of the team last season that got beat by PSG in this stage. But this time round, we get the win we need. Up against Boston in both legs. We're going to sim the rest of the Premier League games. We're going to put our hearts to the FA Cup final as well. Let's end the season here. Or maybe, actually, this is going to be the final game of this episode. We're going to have one more episode, which is going to be the next one. We're going to have the Premier League finale, we're going to have the FA Cup final, and the Champions League final. I'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to show you, we're going to get back to the menu, and I'll do the outro there. And yeah, as I mentioned, as you can see in the Premier League title race, we are so far clear of Liverpool. Man City have dropped down to 5th actually in the league table. Didn't expect that to happen, but we're still undefeated this far into the season. As you can see, we've got Spurs, we've got Wolves, some hard and easy games in between there. We're going to sim a bunch of them though. And obviously, in the next episode, we're going to have the FA Cup final up against Shrewsbury Town, who I'm so surprised have made it to this far. Obviously, they've took on like the easier teams, they took on the harder teams, but to be fair, they beat Aston Villa, so they kind of deserve their spot here. Obviously, we won the Carabao Cup in this episode against Watford. We won the Community Shield. We're on track to win the Premier League, and in the Champions League final, which we're going to have next episode, who we're going to take on. I know who it is. It's Atletico Madrid, and I'm going to show you. It could have been such an interesting game. It could have been Celtic, who drew the second leg 2-2, but if they won the second leg, or didn't even concede one more goal, they possibly could have been in the Champions League final here. Who did they take on? They got young boys. They took on Arsenal. They beat them on penalties. But yeah, up against Atletico Madrid, the team we also did the quadruple with on this channel, who had a pretty good team in that one. We should get a victory in that one. But that's going to call it for this episode. And next episode will be the season finale, and possibly a series finale if it's a Newcastle episode, the Newcastle series. I kind of hope it is, because the team we have right now should be winning the Premier League title, should be winning the Champions League title, should be winning every single title they challenged for. Unfortunately for us, Kieran Trippier has dropped down to an 83 this season, which is so undeserved. Just because he's 35 years of age, he's dropped down to an 83 from an 87 rating at the start of the season. But that's going to call it for this one. Thank you for watching. Next episode, we end this series possibly if we win the Champions League final, which I think we can do against Atletico Madrid. I feel like that should be a game we easily win. But yeah, that's going to call it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.